everyone, thank you for joining me today. We're going to talk about some current favorite products, and there's not going to be a lot of them. I kind of condensed my roundup because that really felt true to what I was feeling right now about these certain things. It's some stuff for the last little bit here I've really wanted to share about, and you know, sometimes you think, oh gosh, I've got a full face of various things that are really clicking for me right now, and I want everybody to know about it. Sometimes it works out to be more products, sometimes it's less, and right now it's just a very elite and select group of things that I'm going to tell you about. So starting out right now, the only thing on my face are my 3 different all over the face serums. So my niacinamide, I would say it's usually hyaluronic acid, but I am working through my snail mucin and that is going well for me. I'm actually getting toward the bottom of this bottle. And then my vitamin C. But another thing that I've been using lately and really liking is from Dermasil. And I don't know if this is like a drunk elephant dupe product. I'm not even sure. But when I got it, I definitely picked up a couple of other things that did for sure look drunk elephant-like. But this is called the Multivitamin Eye Serum. It has vitamin C, caffeine, and Matrixyl 3000. Restore and brighten, developed with dermatologists. I have been impressed with a lot of Dermasil stuff. I'm still using that oatmeal cleanser like every night. I love my 2 different little mists I have for face and body. And this has become part of my like morning serum routine. Before I go in with my moisturizers, I use the serums, and this roller in the morning, I mean, I can just watch my eyes depuff as I use it. So it's got that cooling ball. It feels great, not even kept in a makeup fridge. Even on days when the makeup room was literally really hot because our AC went out, that thing still felt cooling somehow. But then I just kind of dab in the serum around my eye area. But what that does for my under eye, it just gives you the feeling that you're waking up, but then literally just to look at the area, you can see yourself lose a little puffiness. It just kind of goes down right before your eyes. And then like I said, on top of that, you're getting some good for you ingredients. And is this an eye cream? No. I do use still my Vani cream, moisturizing cream on my under eye area after I use my daily facial moisturizer. But this is just kind of like a little pick me up, wake me up step. I look forward to it every day. Like when I come in here, yeah, let's use the serums. Okay, now we get to use the under eye roller. So, I mean, this is not a brand new concept. The thought of having something like this, these have been around for a while, right? But I did get mine for $1.25 and I am really loving Dermasil and this is good stuff. I'm going to continue on with the rest of my skincare. Like I said, just those couple steps, the daily facial moisturizer, and then I use my moisturizing cream, which I've put into this little jar, but it comes from the big pump thing with the blue pump. And then my sunscreen. I'm getting low on my Supergoop every single face, so I'm storing it upside down so I can get the most out of that. And then I'll be back with my next thing to talk about. Here's another thing that I'm enjoying. I think it's making a difference for my makeup routine. We are going through some stifling heat right now. Like, I can't believe how quick I am to sweat outside. Like yesterday I was fiddling around with this car seat thing. We're switching around in the back seat and I like couldn't get it undone. And just the 3 minutes I spent messing with it, sweat starting to drip. And I've specifically been using this product on and off to see, like, are you really doing something for me? And yesterday I was not wearing this, and while my makeup was hanging on, it was more like hanging on by a thread, and I really could have used this because I think I notice a difference on the days when I do. And it's Hard Candy Sweat On Lock Primer. It says super matte skin, all day defense from excess oil and sweat, 12-hour hold, non-drying. You may recall this came up in the video where I was using products with only long wearing claims, and that look turned out well for me. I did a little powder touch up before day's end. I had a lot going on that day, but I definitely know the difference. When I'm basically watching a look evolve from beginning to end, I can tell when it hits the end of the day, like, is that product still fully even and on there? Or is it actually starting to break down, look patchy in certain areas? Like, you can have very different experiences with different products, but this I really think has benefited me. So Sweat On Lock Primer. On the back it says all skin types, fragrance free, vegan and cruelty free. So I'm going to use some of that today. I do recommend giving it just a little shake just in case. It is kind of a milky gel type of consistency, but I like to just make sure it's all combined, you know, and it does have a lightly peachy tone. But I take this first and foremost, I'm swiping it around the problem areas and then just kind of blending outward, you know what I mean? So I'm getting around the nose, chin, around my mouth, between my brows, my forehead, and from there it just kind of blends out. It's not a super sticky primer. I would say it does have a little tack to it. I'm grabbing out just a little more just to be sure on my description here. It's absolutely not as sticky as e.l.f.'s Power Grip, but it gives you just a little bit going on there. And it says super matte skin. Maybe it is a little mattifying right after you blend this in, but it's kind of up to you as to what foundation you put on top as to how matte your skin is ultimately going to look. Your primer can't control all that, but what we hope it's going to do is help the makeup cling and last and be even all day. And I feel like I've had enough consistent results with this to share about it and kind of put my stamp of approval on it. Because Southern Illinois heat is no joke. It's not just the heat, it's the humidity. That's what we all say, right? I've gone on with a few steps after the primer. Today I chose this one, the Wet n Wild Niacinamide Skin Tint, which I enjoy this stuff. I actually think this wears fairly well for what it is. It's a very lightweight product. You wouldn't think it would be that long wearing, but I get along well here. Trying to figure out what my shade is. Light medium. Works well, gives me some good even coverage. Today I reached for Revlon Color Stay Flex Wear Concealer. Always a winner. Will never do you wrong. My shade is vanilla, and you can see I'm nicely brightened on the under eye, and it's because of that. Then I set that with the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection Powder. Pink Light is the shade. And I went all over my skin. I was like, maybe let's try something other than just, you know, one of your go-to pressed powders. And I used one of my powder foundations, basically, but it's a loose one, Nude by Nature. Radiant Loose Powder Foundation in C3 Light. And this does look really pretty over the top of something, particularly when you've gone a little lighter that day. This kind of balances it out. I think it looks nice all over the skin because I really did blend that everywhere. And then I used my Essence Soft Touch Bronzer in Golden Buttercream. And I've got that in my contour zones. And then, my friends, that brings us to our next thing that I'm really excited about. And I'm talking about these new Morphe blushes, the Cloud Light blushes. So where does Cloud Light ring a bell from? Well, they made Cloud Light powders like this. And I've got this one here that I'm holding called Dawn. And it gives you that kind of like soft focus look on top of your makeup. Kind of feels like you're using an Hourglass ambient lighting powder. They've got some deeper tones. I know some people really like using the deeper ones like a bronzer, but think very lightweight on the skin, but you're still getting some pigment, but not too much pigment. And then they came out with blushes in that same kind of formula. Here's the size difference. And the blushes honestly give me a little bit more of a color punch than I was expecting. And I've been sent the whole bunch and going through them. And when I saw that they were going to be a thing, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to try these. And I was about to order a few, and lo and behold, they arrived on my doorstep. I think these are so much fun, and they're giving you that marbled look. Like, just check one out here. Can you see there is that Morphe M imprint? But there's that same lightweight feel, but yet pigment. This one called Breeze, I really like this. This is called a Rich Mauve. They give you the shade name on the back and also the shade description. So Breeze is Rich Mauve. I really liked this one, actually. I thought this one gave me even more than I was expecting. This one's called Fluff, and it's called a soft pink, and it's kind of marbled with a soft gold. I'm gonna get you way in on this. The goldeny color, like the lighter color flowing through this, definitely has a bit of luminosity, and I feel like I end up with kind of a highlighter optional skin, which I'm very into these days. I'm already prone to getting hot and sweating. It's very, very hot during the summer. It's not a time when I think I benefit so much from like a streak of highlighter on my skin. What other ones was I into? This one gave quite a bit of color. This one called Whirl. It's got swirls of like magenta and plum, and then also kind of a champagne thing is happening there. I'm trying to think what the faves were. Wisp, very everyday workable. I'd call it Dusty Rose. They're calling it a mid-tone rose. Definitely is some warmth in that one. And then also rich warmth in this one called Drift, which is called Bronze Blush. So if you're into kind of capitalizing on your bronzy skin from the summer, this has, again, the lighter shade tends to be kind of a glowy shade weaved throughout these products. And then you've got a richer kind of, you know, brownish plum in there actually. And there's a couple that I've yet to try. I've got this peachy one here called Twist. It's called Peachy Coral. And then Rush, which is a Vibrant Red. Maybe we use both of these today. But I kind of feel like it's a can't go wrong situation here. Like I'm looking at what I had, what I used. I really enjoyed these couple. Breeze was great. Just looked really good on my skin. Fluff is fun and lighter and softer. But this will be good here. One of these has lighter intensity, one has richer intensity. So twist. In this one, I'm seeing a rose gold type of shimmer, maybe a little bit of bronze, and also just some classic peach. And I'm taking my e.l.f. blush brush, and I can see that I've got product on it. Just start there at first. Just like one little sort of agitation of the product, because it can build quicker than you think with some of these. Look at that pretty peach. I always like, if I've got a string of blushes to try, I feel like the straight up orangey peach, like I might reach for a warm pink or a peachy pink, but the ones that look a bit orangey, I sometimes hang back on, and then I always end up liking them. But look at that soft, subtle color. Can you see the little bit of glow we've established there? And then you can build from here if you want to. But I would say take it slow with these because they're actually a little bit more intense than I was expecting them to be. And they're really pretty. The level of glow, no glitter chunks to be encountered with any of them. Isn't that great? It's just like a really soft, flattering kind of gleam that's just going to pick up on your cheeks. This one, Rush, Vibrant Red it says. Oh, it looks so pretty just to glance at that. Look at that beautiful swirl in there. Again, the pickup, get a little bit on the brush. I'm gonna keep it kind of back here on my cheek. I feel like we see more red blushes coming out like in the creams and liquids, but maybe not so much among new powder blushes that are releasing. That's pretty. Okay, so there's this cheek without the red pop. Here it is with. Obviously sheared out. Getting a little. Oh, it's really like sneakily intensifying the look. Is that a word? See how I just added that there? And it's almost just falling into the naturally shadowed area anyway. I'm loving just the look of heat that that's creating. Very enjoyable. I just like putting these on, you guys. Trying different combos and just being pleasantly surprised with the color payoff. I think they did a great job with this formula. Again, it feels light. The texture, when you touch one, if you go find these in Ulta, give them a feel and you'll notice like, oh, okay, it feels kind of light, but yet, oh, there is pigment there. It's delivering on pigment. And then that little bit of super flattering sheen. People who don't even tend to like a glowy product, I think, might use these and think, wow, like that really does look right on me. So now I've officially tried all of them. Oh, guys, last night Belle had her first junior high cheerleading practice since finding out she made the team, and it was directly after school. This is my first time with her having a practice where I don't see her after school. She gets on a bus at the school she's still attending and is bussed across down to the school where they're holding the practice. Why did that do something to me? Like every time, even if she's got a practice like really soon after school or a tumbling lesson like right after school, I'm the one taking her there, you know? So we have that moment to like catch up, or I could give her a snack. And now it's like, make sure you eat the snack that I packed. I'm so big on this kid making sure she fuels herself because I think she asks so much of her body, and you can't just like get caught up in what's going on and then not eat something. So have you guys realized they have something, what are they called, Legendary, or am I making that up? It's like a protein Pop-Tart, and there's one in a package, but it's like protein packed. We got her the s'mores ones and she really likes those, so she had that after school. But yeah, just that thought of like, I'm not taking her to the practice. She's just showing up, you know, with her teammates to the practice. Oh my gosh. But I'm so happy for her. I'm so excited about their coach. I really think she's gonna have a great time and learn so much. Alrighty friends, I just did my eyes. I feel like I just did like the diet version. Like the eye look I did in my last video was the full sugar Coke, and this is like the Diet Coke version. It's just a little softer, but I still went dark in my inner rim. I feel like I just went a little less smoky with it, and I did no lashes. I just did the Extensionist mascara, but this is the eyeshadow. I use e.l.f. Cream and Sugar periodically, even though it frustrates me for the fact that it does not possess a real mid-tone for the crease. Light, 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 dark. This is the definition of a harder to use eye palette, honestly. I mean, I know you might see it on the shelf and think, oh, there's a little neutral eye quad. It's not the easiest one. Like I start by patting the dark shade on my outer corner and then blend it up, blend it up, blend it up, and then buff to where it becomes like a mid-tone crease shade, and then I put this shade on the rest of my lid. I use this Revlon Color Stay eyeliner pencil, very thin across the upper lash line, in the waterline, and then use L'Oreal Brown, this is not Brown Abyss, this is Magnetic Bronze. This is softer than Brown Abyss, and I use that on the skin, you know, on my lower lash line. And it looks kind of nice and smoky there. And then mascara, I used Extensionist on top and e.l.f. Lash Extender on the bottom. And I just thought, we're trying that whole brown eye maxing, but maybe this is not quite to the max. And then it brings me to my last little thing that I'm going to talk about. So we mentioned the Dermasil. We used this primer. That was two. Oh, I have two more things actually. The blushes. And then, let's see, I'll talk about the powder thing last. Okay, just getting my thoughts in order. This Catrice lip liner, which I at first thought, I mean, I wasn't so huge on it, and maybe I was just a little bitter because I thought, are they doing away with the plumping lip liners? They have this Gel Glide long-lasting lip liner. I don't know what happened right out of the gate with this for me. I was maybe a bit too critical because I've continued reaching for it. I actually reached for it mistakenly twice because it looks like my Nude by Nature lip liner exactly. And I was wanting to pick Nude by Nature, and then I used this and didn't even realize really until I started putting it on, and I'm like, oh, that's a darker shade. You know, you start putting it on, you just kind of go with it. Okay, that's going to be my lip liner for the day. It actually does last really well. The shade I have here is called Sip and Slay, and I have sharpened it. Like, it comes looking darker up top, and you're going to even think, what do I do with that? Just stick it in your pencil sharpener and it will sharpen up nicely and easily. But look at the color, like one swipe, pretty intense, right? And very creamy. But it does kind of lock in, so I'm proud of it for that. And I've just noticed how, like, wow, that can really hang, that can last. While it was still creamy, did you see what I did? I did a blot, actually, to the lower lip, and then we'll define. This has that kind of a brownish tone. Just blend it. You'll only have a little time to work here on the blending, so get into that right away. It looks good on its own, really good. And honestly, the less you add to the top, the better the staying power will be. But because we can't help ourselves, we want a little shine. I'm just gonna do a little something. I'm gonna take Choco Luxe, I think is the name of this. It's from the Glimmer line, and it's the brownish looking one. Oh, that multi-dimensional shimmer in this is just popping. I love it. Love it. It's a good color for me, but I'm realizing it is a truly long-lasting one here from Catrice. Again, it's called Gel Glide Long-Lasting Lip Liner. Just know, like, it's very full color intensity, one swipe. It's maybe a little bit trickier lip liner to, like, gently feather into your look. I actually feel like I would have a little more ease using a Nude by Nature or a Revlon Color Stay because they just don't lay down quite as much all at once. This one lays down a lot all at once. So think about that. Like, if you're going for a darker shade, like, it's really going to show up. It's kind of a 0 to 100 experience as you're putting it on, but it wears a long time. It was the right time to recurl the lashes. Yes. So the last thing I'm going to talk about here, and I won't be able to give you the most authentic result from this product, but I use it a lot. And I'm talking about my Kosas Cloud Set. Been talking about this product for years. I own two. Airy is going to be your lightest one, and then a step down from that is Breezy. Still looks very light, and it's definitely like what I'm using right now. It's just got a tinge more yellow in this one. When I'm touching up, this can be all it takes on the skin, especially when your look is really still holding together well, but you've just got a little shine. Like, I take this small brush. This is part of the Profusion, like when you get 3 face brushes, this is one of them. It's the Flat Setting Powder PD5. Something compact. It doesn't have to be this exact one, but like something about this size with a little bit of the powder on it. Again, I'm not showing a ton of shine right now because this has all been freshly applied, but when I'm at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I take a little bit of this right in here, I can look like I have absolutely no lines in my forehead just by dabbing this over. I can look like any shine that was emerging right in this sneaky zone is completely gone, and around the tip of the nose, it's no light is reflecting anymore, and maybe a little on the chin, around the mouth. What I just did there would be the extent of what I do on a touch-up with powder. That stuff is so good, and it doesn't look like powder. This comes under the heading of one of those high-end products that I really feel like is worth it. And if I'm in my late fall, wintertime skin, springtime skin, most of the year I'm probably using Airy. It's just even more brightening. But Breezy right now, with my skin tone, a little bit of tan is great too. Also, this one would be more likely to make sense all over the skin if you were going for that. And if you're thinking, well, Em, could you just use that to set your under eye to begin with, like in your makeup routine? Yeah, you could. If I'm just at home base here though doing my makeup, I'm gonna most likely do the loose powder thing on the under eye. And that stuff, that Closest Cloud set, does have a permanent home on the top of my vanity because I will reach for it as the touch-up thing. That is perfect. Anymore, like, I feel like my blush is hanging on well. I feel like my bronzers hang on well. 9 times out of 10, I'm not needing to like reconstruct a look in some form or fashion, but a little bit of that powder is so good. So that would be my other like current favorite, especially if we're talking summertime, we're talking heat, we're getting through some of the hottest days of the year right now. Like, that stuff is excellent. So thank you, my friends, so much for watching. I hope the video was helpful, gave you a few ideas, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.